Staying out of discussion.
Hey, Nick, you want to go live?
We are live.
Okay, thank you.
Live from Casper, Wyoming. Huh? Yeah. Good morning, everyone. We'll get this meeting kicked off at 9 o'clock. And with that, Charlie, I'll turn it over to you right now.
Thank you, President Davis. The December 21st, 2021 meeting of the Wyoming Pari-Mutuel meeting commencing at 9 a.m. Welcome to the December 21st, 2021 special meeting of the Wyoming Pari-Mutuel Commission. The primary mission of the Wyoming Commission is the protection of the wagering public and the health, safety, and welfare of the participants in all lawful gaming and pari-mutuel activity. Individuals who wish to address the Commission will be recognized and called upon by the President to speak. After the President has recognized you, please clearly state your name, the name of the organization you represent, prior to addressing the Commission. All comments, questions, and responses must flow through the President by addressing the President each time you wish to speak. This procedure ensures an orderly flow of discussion during the Commission meeting. All meetings of the governing body of an agency are public meetings, open to the public, except as otherwise provided in Wyoming Statutes 16.4, 403A. Just as a reminder, this meeting is being held live via YouTube and Zoom, and the Commission may open an executive session as stated by 16.4, 405A, and inclusion on the agenda does not necessarily constitute a Commission action.
With that, Charlie, should we proceed with a roll call?
Yes. Thank you, President Davis. President Davis.
Here.
Vice President Broussard. Vice President Broussard. Vice President Broussard is absent at this point. Commissioner Cavello.
Here.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Daigle.
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Barry.
Here.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Leinen.
Here.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Kura.
Here.
Thank you. We do have a quorum, President Davis. Moving on, Governor's Advisory Representatives, Dwayne Pacheco. Dwayne Pacheco, are you on the line? Absent. Jenny Wildcat.
Here.
Thank you. Dan Schiffer.
Here.
Thank you, sir. Senator Driscoll. Senator Driscoll is absent. Representative Newsom. Representative Newsom, are you on the call? Absent. Thank you, President Davis. We're now ready for a Pledge of Allegiance.
With that, let's proceed with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Amen. Commission, we'll go to item number 2, the agenda, discussion and consideration and possible action. I'm looking for a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved. Commissioner Leinen.
Thank you, Ann.
Second.
Develop.
Thank you, Cactus. Any discussion on it? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried, Charlie. Item number 3, the skill-based amusement game and historic racing game approval process. Would you like to lead us on this discussion, please, Charlie?
Yes, thank you, President Davis. First off, just as a housekeeping, prior to the meeting, we did not receive any additional public comments via email, fax, or otherwise. So for today's meeting, I don't have any additional public comments other than what may be presented during the meeting. So that piece. Moving into item 3, skill-based amusement game and historic horse racing game approval process. In an attempt, the staff is finding that we're in need to try to attempt to continue to streamline our approval process, but probably more importantly, have some consistency between historic racing and skill-based amusement games at this point. So to kind of give you just a quick overview of our approval process for historic racing games. If we have a new game or a new manufacturer or game theme, we request a letter from the manufacturer or the vendor. We expect to have release notes, which explains how the game operates. Also, we expect to receive a lab report is submitted with it, a current lab report. Depending on the situation, for a new one, we would expect to have a video replay of how the game operates, or at a minimum slide presentation of that. So we have that. And then the staff will review that and provide the commission with its recommendation. And then we would move that, once that's been completed, to the commission for your approval, and we present it to you. The second half of the historic racing approval process is when we have a new skin, which is a non-substantive change to a previously approved game theme, or a quick fix, something that is a minimal change to the system or to the games. We expect the letter of request again. We also expect the release notes, which explains what the change is. We also expect the lab report to be submitted. Then moving on to the video replay, if it's not affecting that aspect of the game, we don't need the video replay or slides of that. At that point, the staff will review and verify the changes are non-substantive. So, and again, this is a situation that you allowed us several years ago to then move to the next step. Once verified that it is non-substantive, the staff may approve that for installation. There's no action required from the commissioners on that particular situation. Again, a non-substantive change is having no significant impact on the associated application or the game operation. So that process has been in place for several years and has worked well for us and been not a problem. And it's also streamlined our processes quite a bit. So then in the skill-based amusement games, and part of this is just because of the dynamics of the approvals and the law and different things, we expect the same letter requesting. We expect release notes from the vendor as well, explaining a little bit about the game. We expect to have a current lab report. We also expect to have either, we've done a video of it or a slide presentation, again, very similar to what we do with the historic racing. And then the staff will review it and provide the commission with its recommendation. And then we schedule a meeting to approve those changes. Well, In a similar situation as I'd stated above, then we have the process for applying new skins to the skill-based amusement games, or hot fixes or non-substantive changes. We would again, we expect the same process to be followed up to this point. What I am asking you today, and what the staff would like the authority to do at this point, is non-substantive changes, hot fixes, you know, things that do not affect the gameplay, to give the staff the approval, the authorization to make those approvals and get those installed, and eliminating that final step. And we have done that with the historic racing. So again, the staff would like to have that authorization to do the same as what we're doing with historic racing, bring parity. We would go through our same process. The staff would review and verify that it's a non-substantive change. And then once that's been verified, the staff may approve, and then there'd be no additional action required from the commissioners.
So with that presentation, I would be looking for a motion to authorize the staff to do the same with the games of skill as we are with the HHRs in step number 2.
President Davis, so
Yes.
moved.
Thank you, Randy. Is there a second? That Commissioner Diego?
Diego, yes.
Oh, there you are. We're gonna have a little gnome out there now. Where is Commissioner
I'm
Daigle?
right here.
Okay, thank you, Sherry. Discussion on this, Commission?
President Davis,
Cactus.
Cactus was first, Randy.
that's
Well,
fine.
my question is, I'm assuming that we'll be informed as those changes are made and approved by staff.
Yes, that President Davis, Commissioner Cavallo, yes, we would keep you informed of those changes.
Thank you.
President Davis,
Yes, go ahead, Randy.
Charlie and maybe Mike also, we're operating under 2 different statutes here, one for skill-based amusement games and one for HHR. We're not flying in the face of the statute that authorized the skill-based games, are we?
President Davis, Commissioner Line, I would think not. But as far as that legal analysis, I would ask Mr. Kaler, but I'm guessing at this point he has not had an opportunity to review that and answer that maybe.
Mr.
And the only reason I bring that up, President Davis, is because we are dealing with 2 different statutes here, and I want to make sure, you know, it has been a point of contention with some of the legislators and not understanding what one statute says and what the other says, and I want to make sure we're not flying in the face of something. Thank you.
Mr. President, Commissioner Lynan, and so you just want to be comfortable that I suppose the commission has the statutory authority to do this. Is that kind of generally what
That's
you're
correct.
asking? Yes, and I've reviewed the statutes, and you know, I think you know, certainly the commission has the authority to delegate, you know, kind of these administrative functions, you know, reviewing kind of the minor changes. I don't see any issue with it, and it certainly streamlined the process.
Thank you. Just wanted to make sure.
Commissioner Kerr, did you have your hand up, or was that the shadow?
Oh, that was probably a shadow, Bob. I'm okay.
Well, I guess the other question I have is, there in our rules with the HHR, is it spell it out this way?
President Davis, is it spelled out in rules this way? No, that is not.
Okay,
It has been always applied as basically a directive,
okay. So
guidance.
if we're good with that in guidance there in the directive, and if Mike doesn't have any concern, do we look for, we've got a motion on the floor. Is there any further discussion? Are there any hands out there anywhere, Nick?
Any discussion from the public?
Any discussion from the public?
President, I'm not showing any hands.
No? Okay. Well, with that, then Charlie, I would look for all those in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. That takes care of item number 3 at this time.
If I could have the liberty to go into some of the other discussion on trying to streamline the process.
Please.
Thank you, President Davis. Again, along the same line of streamlining our approval processes, what we're finding is, and it's very important for this office to have a very clear understanding of the software that is installed on all gaming devices. So, software control is a huge priority for us. Knowing the software, having good explanations of the software when they're installed too. And that all speaks to, the goal is to know what software we have on everything. And then the results of that is increased integrity, protection of the wagering public, and all of that's concerns that everyone has. So with that, we are looking to other states for some guidance on how to control some of that software, how to control the games, and not control them in a way, punitive, but to control it so we know what's out there and have and streamline those approvals. What we're finding currently with historic racing is we have one of our permittees gets approval for a game theme or a product. Another permittee is looking at wanting to utilize that product, and our motions prior have always been approval specifically for that vendor, or the permittee. So then we've got a game product that's authorized for one permittee, and the other one wants to use it but can't until he's gone through the same process. So where are we going with this? We're going to look at attempting to stand up a menu type or a catalog type process to where games are approved and the permittees can choose from this line or this line, this line. They would still be required to do submittal letters. They would still be required to do the notifications and all those things. But we are going to walk through that process, see if we can streamline that for the permittees. And then at some point, we will look at a very similar process for skill-based amusement games as well as we work through that. It's very important to be able to respond quickly to our requests with game theme. And again, why? Well, that's maximizing the revenues not only to the cities and counties, to the state of Wyoming, but also to their business plan. A freshening of their product is very important to those operators. So we need to keep up as best we can with the industry and be able to respond, quickly along with appropriately and protect the public. So that's some of the directions that we're going to be looking, and I'll be bringing this back to you, commissioners, for further discussion and updates in the very near future.
Is there any questions about that? It's just with today's technology and everybody's zest for the latest and greatest, this is something we need to look at. If there's no other further comment, is there any from the public? Nick?
President Davis, I don't see any hands here
Okay,
either.
thank you, Nick. Well, then we'll continue down the list here to item number 4. Skill-based amusement games, section number 4, review. Patriot contests and games. Charlie?
Thank you, President Davis. Item number 4, skill-based amusement games, section 4 review. Discussion, consideration, possible action on the following matter. Patriot Contests and Games, LLC. What we're considering today is the Triangle Lucky Duck game system version 1.8.5, developed by Patriot Contests and Games. Patriot Contests and Games, and this is one of the re-reviews pursuant to section 4. Patriot Contests and Games has 8 locations statewide. We're talking 26 terminals, and all of the required information has been provided to include an updated lab report that was received November 19th, 2021. And then on December 7th, 2021, Patriot Contests and Games provided the staff with the demonstration of the gameplay. The demonstration was completed and it appeared that the games operate as the laboratory report concluded. Myself and SAS Laramendi recommend approval as submitted for the section 4 review.
So at this time, I would be looking for a motion to approve Patriot Contests and Games as submitted. Is there a motion?
Mr. President, Commissioner Kerr, I'll move that we accept that.
Thank you, Dick. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Cactus. With that, do we have some discussion on this? Is there any discussion? Seems like it finally came together these last couple of months, so everything seems to be in good order now. Any discussion from the public, Nick?
President Davis, I don't show any hands.
No hands, all right. Well then, with that, all in favor, aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Hearing none, Charlie? Motion carried.
Thank you, President Davis. I think Mr. Laramendi will be following up as soon as the meeting's concluded with Patriot Contests and Games as far as getting the stickers, mailing the permit, et cetera, to get those up and running as quickly as possible.
Okay, with that, then let's proceed to item number 5, the vanilla skill-based amusement games. Item A.
Thank you. Item number 5, vanilla skill-based amusement games. Discussion, consideration, possible action on the following matter. The request for approval to update Wyoming Skill Lightning Edition LE version 5.1.2.2630 and version 4.6.21.37661 that is deployed in Wyoming. As you can see from the submitted material, commissioners, this is a non-substantive change and has no effect to gameplay. So depending on how you want to handle this with the previous motion, the staff can make this approval. And there's no need for action today.
Okay. And this is based on the HHRs?
This is a skill-based.
Skill-based, okay.
Yeah.
Is there who's the vendor in?
Nick, if you could respond to President Davis.
President Davis, so the manufacturer would be Vanilla, and this would entail 3 vendors: BH Novelty, Sweets Amusements, and L&L Distributing.
Okay, thank you, Nick. That was the only
President?
question. Yes, Sherry?
Thank you. I'm just wondering if maybe since it's on our agenda as an action item and was advertised as such, that maybe we should just go ahead and take action today, and then from this point forward, they would not be brought to the commission? I would throw that to Mr. Kaler.
I think they will still be brought to the commission's attention, but we'll just know of the action.
Right.
I would agree with Commissioner Daigle. Let's go ahead and just have a
Okay,
motion in a second, just to
All
keep
right.
it clean and keep it consistent.
then at this time, I'd be looking for a motion to approve the skill-based amusement games for vanilla, item number 5.
President
And I
Davis, I'll
would-
make that motion.
Okay, and I'll second it then.
Commissioner Berry and Commissioner Sherry. Any discussion on this? Any discussion? Is there any in the public, Nick?
I'm not showing any hands.
No hands in the public then. With that, all in favor, aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Hearing none, Charlie. Item number 5, motion carried. Okay, with that, we are sickling right along. Should we take a 30-minute break?
No.
No?
Item number 6, 307 horse racing, discussion, consideration, possible action on the following matter. A request which was received October 18th, 2021, seeking approval of 15 new IGT game themes on the Exacta platform. Aztec Temple, Cats, Cleopatra Gold, Griffin's Throne, Kings of Olympus, Lion Dance, Lucky Ox, Queens of Olympus, Red Hot Tamales, 10L, Rose's Fiesta, Secrets of the Forest, Solar Disc Grand, Stinkin' Rich, Temple of Fire, Cash Eruption, and Wolf Run Gold. All of the required information has been provided, including laboratory reports and video or slide presentations. Upon conducting a complete review, SAS Laramendi recommends approval as submitted. Signature verification is required prior to installation and going operational. Commissioners, you'll see in your packet the investigative reports which Mr. Laramendi has provided. And if you have any questions, he is here to respond to those for you.
Are there any questions from the commission at this time on this? Any questions? Are there any questions on the public?
President Davis, I'm not showing any hands.
Thank you, Nick. With that, do we need a motion on
Yes.
this?
Yes, we would need a motion and a second.
Whoop, I kind of jumped the, is there a motion to consider item A? 15 new IGT games.
President Davis, I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Barry. Is there a second?
President Davis, I'll second.
Thank you, Cactus. Now we should have any discussion. Any discussion? Hearing none. Those in favor, aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Hearing none, Charlie. Item 6A, motion carried.
Thank you.
Item 6B,
Item 6B, 307 Horse Racing LLC, discussion, consideration, and possible action on the following matter. A request was received November 11th, 2021, seeking approval of a new OTB location in Sheridan, Wyoming. Little Goose Liquors at 1140 Coffeen Avenue, Sheridan, Wyoming, 82801. All of the necessary information has been provided. Concluding a complete review, SAS Laramendi recommends approval as submitted. The approval is subject to the following. A final inspection shall be performed by the commission staff prior to opening, which is consistent with all approvals. As you can see in your packet, commissioners, you can see Mr. Laramendi's review. We have been on site. You'll see their letter of request, operations, COVID-19 preparedness and response, county approval, feasibility study, amended Pari-Mutuel permit. And if you have any questions, Mr. Laramendi is standing by available.
At this time, I'd be looking for a motion
Excuse
on
me.
item 6B, the approval of the OTB location in Sheridan, the Little Goose Liquors.
Commissioner Davis, so moved.
Thank you, Randy. Is there a second?
Commissioner
I'll
Kerr
second
will
it.
second that.
Thank you, Dick. Any discussion? If I remember correctly, Charlie, there was,
President Davis.
go ahead, Randy.
President Davis. Charlie, any timeline as to how soon they want to open this or would be ready to do this?
President Davis, Commissioner Lynan, I think that may be more for Mr. Laramendi to respond to that.
President Davis, Commissioner Lannon. I don't have an exact date. Mr. Greer is on the line. He might have a date of anticipated opening. Let me move him over here real quick.
Do we have Mr. Greer online?
There's Mr. Greer, and I also have Mr. Ridgway. Let me move him as well.
Okay.
Good morning, Commissioners. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
go ahead.
President Davis and Commissioner Lynan, we're looking to open the facility in Sheridan middle of January to towards the end of January. So second or third week is what we're shooting for.
Good.
Any further questions? Charlie or Nick, could you refresh my memory there on the site diagram? What was missing on that had to be penciled back in at a later date?
The simulcast area was missing from the floor plan. I've talked to Mr. Greer, and we have it squared away as to where it's supposed to be. And that would be inspected and verified on the final inspection as well.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Any further discussion? Any discussion from the public? Hearing none?
There's no hands.
No hands? All right, seeing none then. With that, we have a motion on the floor. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item 6B. Okay, with that, Charlie, looks like we're just about out of work here. Item 7, I don't see a reason for an executive session. Does the commission?
Nope.
Okay, hearing none. Let's proceed to item number 8, meeting dates, discussion and consideration. Charlie, would you like to clue us in on this?
Yes. At this point in time, our next meeting is to be determined. We will get a schedule out. We would like to be, instead of being reactive, we would prefer to be, set these meetings, and we may be looking, and I'll be sending out a poll to you all, looking at potentially having meetings every month and just schedule, whether it's first Tuesday, whatever. I think we're at that point where maybe we do need to start doing that, but I'll look for some more input from you all, commissioners. I hate to take up so much of your time, but I know that you all understand it, and there is a large expectation and heavy lift for us all. So to be determined. And we'll start formulating those meetings for the next 6 months very quickly, hopefully before or shortly after the first of the year.
Would you like to give us, if this isn't on the line, a little update on what our meeting dates looking like there in January? We have TRW, the January 24th in Cheyenne,
Yes,
and we just got
and that's
back.
an online meeting.
That'll be an online, and we just got back from JAC last week in Cheyenne, where it went very well. Charlie was on a great presentation, let's put it that way, and very little comment back. So I think we did a very good job there presenting. With that, is there any other discussion or questions at this time?
I think if I could, President Davis, I think that we do need to update on, we are still heavily invested and involved in the skill-based amusement game rules. I expect to have a draft, and I know that we had a November 1st deadline, and then we keep pushing those back. I am very hopeful that we will have a draft out between Christmas and New Year's, and then start those stakeholder meetings on those next month. Those meetings will be held combination of informal, formal meetings. So, you know, we do have a lot on our plate to try to get those things, keep those in the queue and keep those moving.
Yeah, January will be a pretty active month, I believe. So
President Davis, this
Yes,
is Commissioner Lyon. Charlie or Mike, what did they call it? The Scribner's error that they had when we went back from the Gaming Commission back to the Pari-Mutuel Commission and shuffled us all around and did all of this other stuff. I mean, we're like 60 days away from a legislative session. It passed in the Senate the last time, didn't move on in their special session. Is something being done about that?
President Davis, Commissioner Lyon, thank you for the question. I believe so. I can't definitively answer that for you, but I would expect that would be presented at the budget session.
Representative Newsom, I know you're on the call. Do you have any insight into that?
I don't. I know that the reason that it wasn't taken up in the House during the special session was that if we took up other than COVID topics, that would leave the session open for other things like election reform and gun bills and abortion bills, that the House didn't want to leave that door open for other bills to come up. But as far as TRW goes, we're fully planning on going forward with that. Sadly, there's not an expedited path through the legislative process. So we're still looking at bringing that up in the budget session, getting it passed and enacting it as soon as the session, as soon as the governor would sign it. So that would probably be mid-March.
Thank you.
President Davis, Senator Ellis is on the line and she has her hand up as well.
Okay, Senator Ellis, please chime in.
She's moving over right now.
She's moving.
It'll be a Senate file, Mr. President. LSO, our Legislative Service Office, is in the process of compiling bills, and I can't remember if I know I've signed off on that to go through the process. So I think if it hasn't been numbered already, we're just waiting for it to be numbered. But it will start on the Senate side. And, for those of you that paid attention during the special session, Representative Newsom's right. There was concern about opening the door, so to speak. I think the unfortunate part was, we got it through the Senate. So, the House could have taken action on it without taking on new bills. But, that was the sentiment for sure, was your promises made about not taking up non-COVID related bills, and I'm not in leadership, so I never communicated that I wouldn't bring a bill like that. So for those critics and cynics, that was my reasoning. hopefully we'll get it done.
Thank you.
And President Davis, you know, we sent a letter, I sent a letter on behalf of the commissioners thanking TRW and Senator Ellis and Flitner, Chairman of TRW, for presenting that and bringing those forward. And we do appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, we do. Thank you addressing that oversight. So at this time, is there any other discussion? Anything else we need to be aware of, Charlie?
I think at this point, Merry Christmas.
At this point, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Merry Christmas.
everybody.
Merry Christmas,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.